Good morning, dear students. Welcome to Rishikul Online School. Let's continue Chapter 7 of History, where we are studying about tribal societies. Dear students, this is the fourth module of this chapter, and in this module, we shall study about the Ahoms. Dear students, the Ahoms were a tribal community who established a kingdom in the region of present day Assam. The name Assam is probably derived from the word Ahom. The original homeland of the Ahoms may have been China, from where they migrated to Burma, that is Myanmar. In the 13th century, they came to Assam, which was earlier known as Kamrupa. While moving in the jungles of northeast, they had built many roads and irrigation systems. By the 15th century, they succeeded in building a small kingdom of their own in the Upper Assam area by suppressing some landlords which were called Bhuyas. Dear students, the first Ahom king was probably Sukapha. He ruled for 14 years. He defeated some local tribes such as the Nagas and Khasis. They extended their territories by defeating the local rulers and finally settled in northeastern Assam and set up a stable government. They also fought against the Mughals. Aurangzeb managed to conquer Gregaon, which was the capital of Ahoms, but he was unable to keep it under his control for long. Prince Khurram also attacked these petty kingdoms in the northeast and captured the Kangra fort. Dear students, under one of their rulers, Rudra Singh, they had reached the maximum extent covering almost third-fourth of the present-day Assam. Rudra Singh is regarded as the greatest Ahom king. He took over the title of Swargadeva or Lord of the Heaven, which was commonly used by later Ahom kings. Administration. By the 17th century AD, Ahom administration became quite centralized. Besides the king, there were council of ministers and lesser officials who helped in the administration of the Ahom kingdom. The council of ministers enjoyed a lot of power. Their posts were hereditary. The kings had to consult them before taking important decisions. The Council of Ministers even played a decisive role in the selection of Ahom kings. Dear students, the Ahom state was based on forced labor. Ahom tribesmen were forced to work for the state for fixed periods of time. Tribesmen who performed forced labor were called peks. The state comprised of several villages. Each village had to send a certain number of peks to work for the state. In times of war, adult males were expected to serve in the army. In times of peace, the men were occupied in building of dams and other public works. The home state also conducted regular population counts in the villages and moved people from heavily populated areas to less populated areas. Society and religion. Dear students, the Ahoms were divided into a number of clans known as khels. Each clan controlled several villages. The village community was very powerful. It allotted land to peasants based on their needs. The king could not take away the land without the community's consent. The peasants cultivated food crops, particularly rice, on their land. People lived in houses made of bamboo, which was available locally. Dear students, the Ahoms worshipped their own tribal gods. Later they had accepted Hinduism, but worship of tribal god continued. The influence of Brahmins was also felt in Ahom society. They were also given land grants by the kings. Historical sources. The Ahoms kept a record of their own. Their historical works known as Burunjis, provide a lot of information about their life and society. The Burunjis were initially written in the Ahom language and later in Assamese. The Ahoms still live as a small tribal group in Assam. The Mongols. Dear students, the Mongols lived in harsh desert lands of Mongolia. A Mongol woman whose son later built a vast empire came from China to Central Asia. She taught her son Genghis Khan the basic skills to survive in the desert land. The Mongols under Genghis Khan carved out the largest continuous empire in the world history by uniting the Mongol and Turkish tribes. They did not build any palaces and slept in tents. They had an efficient and well organized administrative system. They were essentially pastoral nomads. Dear students, that was all about this chapter. Thank you.